the young and the restless spoilers. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is a wild, beautiful Wednesday out there, but honestly, things in Genoa City are absolutely, completely falling apart right now. We have so much to unpack today, and I am still shaking from that ending. Let's just dive right into the absolute madness. So the bandages came off. We all knew it was coming. Um, Last week, a few episodes ago, we saw Victor being all sweet and getting Nikki a blanket and telling her she was safe. But we all had that sinking feeling in our stomachs. And then the darkness. Nikki is blind. She really is actually blind. And the breakdown she had, you guys, it was so hard to watch. Melody Thomas Scott acted her absolute heart out in these scenes. She was just sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. It wasn't that pretty, delicate soap opera crying either. It was messy. It was exhausting. She is just so tired and miserable. And honestly, who can blame her? She had all this hope that she would return to her normal life, that she could walk around the ranch and go to the athletic club and just be the great Nikki Newman again. But no, the universe said no. And it is just so devastating to see a legacy character completely broken down like this. And then the doctor chimes in because, of course, there is always a doctor with a magical, impossible suggestion. He says they need to go to New York. There is a specialist in New York, a new treatment, but can they even get there? Nikki is in absolutely no condition to travel. She is entirely broken. She doesn't want to go. She doesn't want to be poked and prodded by more doctors who are just going to give her false hope and then take it away again. And maybe I'm being too harsh on the medical staff, but let's be real. When have they ever fixed anything on the first try? Never. So Nikki is just sitting there crying, refusing to go. He just wants to give up. And Victor is probably pacing around the room in that black suit of his, yelling at people on the phone. But for once, Victor cannot fix this. He cannot buy her a new set of eyes. And that is driving him crazy. But it is driving Nikki even crazier. But here is the thing about Nikki. She is proud. She is so fiercely, stubbornly proud. She doesn't trust anyone anymore, not even Victor. Honestly, especially not Victor after he just tricked her into signing away her Newman Enterprises shares. Oh, yeah, we haven't forgotten about that little stunt. Victor playing the devoted, loving husband while secretly stealing her company out from under her. So she is locking herself in the house. She refuses to go out. She told Victor she doesn't want to deal with the mockery, the pity. She thinks everyone in town is going to look at her and whisper behind her back. Oh, look at the poor blind Newman matriarch, and she can't handle it. She would rather lock herself in a dark room than face the pity of Diane Jenkins or Phyllis or whoever else is lurking around the athletic club these days. And you know what? I get it. I really do. If I were her, I would hide too. But it is just so sad. She is completely isolating herself from the entire world. So this leads us to the night scene. The scene that had me literally screaming at my television screen. It is the middle of the night. The ranch is dark. And why is the Newman Ranch always so dark? They have $1 billion. Buy a nightlight, Victor. Anyway, Nikki is awake. She is crying again. She is so tired of crying, and she gets thirsty. Normally, she would ring a bell or call out for Victor or a maid or security. But remember, she is feeling useless. She hates feeling useless. So she decides she is going to get the water herself. She wants to prove to herself that she can do one simple thing, just one simple thing in her own house. Walk to the kitchen and get a glass of water. And she gets up. She is fumbling in the dark. But for her, it is all dark anyway. It doesn't matter if the lights are on or off. She is feeling her way along the walls, and the music is playing that really tense, creepy soap opera music. You know the one, the string instruments just plucking away slowly. You just know something bad is going to happen. Fans down social media were already tweeting, "Don't go near the stairs, Nikki," because there are always stairs. Why do soap opera characters always go near the stairs when they are vulnerable? It is like a written rule in the writer's room. So she is walking, feeling her way slowly, terrified but determined. She gets to the top of the stairs, and then someone is there. There is a shadow behind her. Someone is standing right behind her in the dark. And Nikki can't see them. She has no idea they are there. But we see them. Well, we see a silhouette. The camera gives us this split second where the face is illuminated just enough. The face is very familiar. A familiar face in the shadows. Who is it? Who the heck is it? We get a split second of this face. And then, bam, the person pushes her. A violent, deliberate, vicious shove right in the middle of her back. They pushed a blind woman down a flight of stairs. What kind of absolute monster does that? Nikki screamed. It is this awful, echoing scream that just chills you to the bone. And she falls. She tumbles all the way down those massive, hard Newman Ranch stairs, and she hits her head on the hard floor at the bottom. The thud was sickening. I actually gasped out loud. She just lies there, completely unconscious, out cold. And the episode just ends, cuts to black. No preview for tomorrow, nothing. Just Nikki lifeless at the bottom of the stairs. I am still shaking, literally typing this with shaking hands, because I cannot believe they actually went there. Who pushed her? Let's talk about the suspects, because my brain is going a million miles an hour and I cannot focus on who has a familiar face and wants Nikki dead, or at least wants her out of the way. We need to break this down right now. Could it be Diane Jenkins? I mean, Diane has been missing. She was kidnapped by that creepy doctor, Markham. But the timeline says she is back home playing nurse to Jack now. But wait, Diane caught Jack and Nikki in a compromising position recently. She was furious. Diane has a history of doing crazy, unhinged things when she is pushed to the edge. And she hates Nikki. She has always hated Nikki with a burning passion. Could Diane have snuck into the ranch in the middle of the night to get revenge? Maybe. But Diane usually doesn't do her own dirty work like this. And she likes to play the victim. Pushing an old blind woman down the stairs is a bit too messy even for Diane. Or maybe I'm giving Diane too much credit. I don't know. Okay, what about Patty Williams? Patty is completely unhinged. She kidnapped Abby and Dominic. She is blackmailing Jack. She is a total certified psycho. And Victor brought her back to town, which caused all this massive mess. Maybe Patty snuck into the ranch to get back at Victor by hurting the person he loves most. Patty has that crazy look in her. She would absolutely push someone down the stairs and then giggle about it in the corner. But wait, isn't Patty busy with her kidnapping plot? I don't know. The writers love to make Patty the boogeyman for everything. So Patty is a very, very strong possibility. Let's talk about Matt Clark, The guy is an absolute menace. He is currently claiming to have amnesia and living on the ranch because Victor put him there to keep an eye on him, which, by the way, is the stupidest thing Victor has ever done in his entire life. You put a violent criminal in your house with your blind wife? What were they thinking? Matt is a psychopath. He has been torturing Nick. He has been threatening Sharon and Noah. Maybe he decided to just cause some chaos and push Nikki. He is already on the property. It would be so easy for him. But why? What does he gain? Matt usually has a specific reason for his violence. Maybe he wants to frame Nick, or maybe he just likes hurting people. Honestly, Matt makes my skin crawl, and I wouldn't put anything past him. Okay, this sounds crazy. This sounds absolutely insane. But could it be Victor? No, no. Victor loves his baby. But wait, Victor did just trick her into signing away all her shares of Newman Enterprise. He has been manipulating her medical care to get control of her money and her power. What if she was starting to figure it out? What if she threatened to expose him? Would Victor push his own wife down the stairs to keep his corporate secrets safe? Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. Victor is ruthless, but he usually doesn't physically assault Nikki. He just emotionally destroys her. So I am going to cross Victor off the list, but still, the fact that my mind even went there shows how messed up this family dynamic really is. Let's zoom out for a second and talk about the bigger pattern here. This fits the show's usual style so perfectly. This is classic Young and the Restless. Whenever someone goes blind, you know they are going to get a bump on the head of it. It is the oldest soap opera trope in the book. You get hit on the head, you go blind. You get hit on the head again, your sight comes miraculous. Is this what the writers are doing? Did someone push Nikki down the stairs, and when she wakes up in the hospital, she is going to miraculously be able to see again? I swear to God, if that happens, I am going to throw my remote at the TV. It is so lazy. It is so predictable. But at the same time, I kind of want it to happen because I cannot handle watching Nikki cry. And it is too depressing. I just want her to be okay. And let's just talk about how completely unfair this is to Nikki. She has been through so much over the years. The alcoholism, the MS, getting shot, getting kidnapped, Victor's endless, exhausting betrayals, and now she is blind and getting shoved downstairs in her own home. The woman cannot catch a break. I know she is a rich snob sometimes, but she doesn't deserve this level of torture. The fans on social media are losing their minds today. Everyone is tweeting justice for Nikki. We are all so tired of seeing her suffer. And the fact that she was just trying to get a glass of water, it is so mundane. It is so simple. And it turned into a literal horror movie. I keep going back to that familiar face. The prompt, the spoiler, whatever you want to call it, says the face was very familiar. Familiar to who? Familiar to us, the audience? Or familiar to Nikki? But Nikki is blind. She couldn't see the face. So it has to be familiar to the viewers. A face we know. Could it be a returning character? Could it be Aunt Jordan? Oh my God. Please don't let it be Aunt Jordan again. I cannot do another Aunt Jordan storyline. I am exhausted just thinking about it. But a familiar face. Maybe it is someone we haven't seen in a while. Maybe it's Seth? No. Seth is dead, right? I don't even know anymore. People die and come back to life on this show every Tuesday. It is impossible to keep track. So what is going to happen next week? Obviously, Victor is going to find her, probably in the morning, or maybe he will wake up in the middle of the night and realize she isn't in bed. He is going to walk out to the hallway and see her lying there at the bottom of the stairs. He is going to scream, "Nikki, my baby," and call an ambulance. And then the Genoa City Police Department is going to get involved, which means Chance, or whoever is playing detective these days, is going to show up and ask a bunch of useless questions and not solve the crime, because the GCPD never solves anything. Victor is going to have to launch his own private investigation. He is going to hire his security team to check the cameras, but let me guess, the cameras were conveniently turned off or malfunctioning, because of course they were. They always are. And imagine how Nick and Victoria are going to react to this. Victoria is already suspicious of Victor stealing Nikki's shares. When she finds out her mother fell down the stairs, she is going to accuse Victor of doing it. Or she is going to accuse him of gross negligence. Victoria is going to go on the absolute warpath. And Nick is already spiraling out of control. He is threatening to kill Matt Clark. He is back on drugs, or at least very close to relapsing. When Nick finds out someone pushed his mother, he is going to completely lose it. He is going to grab a gun and go hunting. He will probably blame Matt Clark immediately. And honestly, he might be right, but Nick's rage is going to be terrifying to watch. Sharon is going to be so scared for it. The whole family is going to explode. I am just so overwhelmed by this episode. It was clunky in places. Yeah, the pacing was a bit weird, but that ending was a total gut punch. I need a drink. I need to lie down and stare at the ceiling. Who pushed Nikki Newman? We are going to be debating this all weekend long. Let me know in the comments who you think it is. Is it Patty? Is it Diane? Is it Matt? Or is it someone completely out of left field that we aren't even thinking of? I don't know, you guys. I just don't know. But I will be here next week watching and yelling at my screen just like the rest of you. Because no matter how tired I get of this show, I just can't quit it. See you guys next time.